You checked her story views to see if she watched yours. You reread the message you sent her 3 times to make sure it didn't sound too eager. You felt a physical relief when she finally replied. And then, 30 seconds later, you were already anxious about whether her reply was warm enough. You are begging, right now. You just don't know it yet. She goes quiet. You send a follow-up. There's a pause in the conversation. You fill it. She seems a little distant, and you immediately turn the dial up. More effort, more warmth, more of you. And you tell yourself that's just how you are, that you're attentive, that you care. Bro, that is not what this is. You're not chasing her love. You're chasing her confirmation that you are okay, that you're enough, that she approves. And here's the part that hurts. She can feel that. Before you say a word, before you send anything, she can feel the energy underneath the message, and that is the real reason she pulls away. Not because you're too kind, because you are too needy. And you cannot dress needy up with good intentions. You can't. And look, I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, this doesn't fully apply to you. Maybe a little, but not like the guy I'm describing. You're self-aware. You've done the work. You know better. That's exactly what I thought too, for years. That's the thing about this pattern. The men who have it the worst are always the ones most convinced they don't have it at all. You probably tell yourself you're just a considerate person. You check in, you ask questions, you make sure everyone around you is comfortable. I know, I told myself the same thing for years. And I wasn't lying to myself, I genuinely was considerate. That's what makes this so hard to see. The behavior looks identical from the outside. The difference is entirely internal. A man who gives from a place of strength. He does all those same things. Checks in. Asks questions. Shows up. The difference is he doesn't need anything back. What you're doing is different. Every compliment you give her is a question disguised as a statement. Every nice thing you do comes loaded with this invisible expectation that she will reflect it back at you and tell you you're good. You're not giving, you're trading. And the reason you can't see it is because your intentions genuinely feel pure. That's the trap. Look at the actual pattern. Look at what you do. You adjust your opinion the moment she disagrees with you. She pushes back on something you said and you fold immediately. No, yeah, you're right, actually. You apologize for taking up space in conversations. You shrink. That is not respect. That's not being open-minded. That is fear with better packaging. And the worst part? You've been doing this so long, it doesn't feel like fear anymore. It feels like you. It feels like your personality. You've confused your coping mechanism with your identity. The thing that kept you safe as a kid became the thing that's leaking attraction out of every relationship you walk into. Nobody warned you about this. The whole culture told you, be a good listener, be agreeable, show her you care. What nobody ever told you was the difference between giving from strength and giving from fear. You followed that script perfectly, and it led you here. Then let me tell you where this goes if you don't stop. You become the emotional support friend. You become the guy she calls when she needs to vent about the man she's actually sleeping with. And you sit there. You listen. Because at least she's talking to you. At least you still have access. That's not 10 years from now. That's 6 months from now. That's the next woman you meet if you walk into it carrying this same thing. She will feel it before you finish your first real conversation, and she will put you in that box without ever telling you why. Now, here's the part most people in this space never actually get to. Anyone can tell you that you're needy. That's easy. What I want to show you is why your nervous system is running this program in the first place. Because once you see the root, the whole thing starts to make sense. And more importantly, it starts to become something you can actually change. The men who actually command real respect from women, they're not doing more. They are doing less. They're not filling silences. They're not chasing her reactions. They're not quietly adjusting themselves, trying to stay in her good graces. They just exist, fully, without needing her to co-sign that existence. And that stillness, that self-sufficiency, reads as something she has genuinely never experienced from a man who actually likes her. She doesn't know what to call it, but her body responds to it the same way every single time. I know exactly where this started. And it didn't start with her. It started years before she was ever in the picture. You learned early, from a parent, a coach, a group of friends, whoever it was. You learned that when you made people feel good, they didn't leave. When you agreed, when you softened yourself, when you adjusted, you were safe. Your nervous system filed that away. The problem is, your nervous system is still running that exact program, and she is not your parent. She doesn't want to be. The moment she starts to feel like she's responsible for your emotional stability, she's gone. Not because she's cruel, because that's an impossible weight that nobody asked to carry. I had a friend, spent 2 years chasing the same woman. Every week, more effort, more messages, more compliments, more adjustments. He genuinely thought he was showing her how much he cared. I watched her slowly go quiet, not because she stopped liking him, but because he became a weight she didn't sign up to carry. He needed her attention the way some people need air to breathe, and she could feel it. Then one day he stopped, completely, cold. Not because he played a game, he just finally got tired. And she called him within 4 days. Nothing changed about his life. Nothing changed about how he looked. He just stopped bleeding at her. That one shift, that one thing, changed the entire dynamic. So here's what this actually looks like in practice. Not a philosophy, something you can do today. The next time you send a message and she doesn't reply right away, don't send another one. Sit in that discomfort and don't move. The next time you catch yourself about to change your opinion because she pushed back, hold your position. You don't have to argue. You don't have to convince her. Just don't fold. The next time you feel the urge to fill a silence, let it breathe. These are small things, but every time you do them, you are sending your nervous system a new piece of evidence that you are safe without her approval. You are literally rewiring the program. When you catch yourself reaching for her validation, stop. Just for a second. Ask yourself, honestly, what am I actually afraid is going to happen if she doesn't give it to me? That question will show you exactly where the wound is, because it's always pointing at the same place. I'm telling you this because I did this for years. I genuinely thought I was being romantic. I thought I was being attentive. I was leaking desperation at every woman who showed me basic warmth, and then wondering, actually confused, why she eventually went cold. The hardest moment wasn't when she left. It was when I had to sit with the fact that it wasn't her fault. That the thing I thought was a virtue was a liability. That my entire approach to love had been built on a foundation of fear that I had convinced myself was care. Some of you watching this right now are feeling it in your chest. You're thinking of a specific girl, a specific week, a specific message you sent at midnight that you wish you could pull back. I know exactly what that feels like. The question is not whether you do this. Most men do. The question is whether you're going to keep running the same loop, or whether you're finally ready to get underneath it and deal with the actual thing. Stop waiting for her approval. She is not the authority on your worth. You gave her that job. without asking her, without even realizing you did it. And it is time, right now, to take it back. If this hit you somewhere real, subscribe. Not because I'm asking, because this is one video out of a much longer conversation, and the next one is going to go even deeper. The guys who stay are the ones who actually come out the other side of this. I'll see you there.